Welcome to Sailing Avanti. We are Gerard and Jacqueline, sailing our 41-foot monohull Avanti around the world from Cape Town, South Africa.
Welcome to Bonaire, a small island just north of Venezuela, where Florina and I learned to dive. Gerard struggles with equalizing, so doesn't join, but it was one of the best experiences I've ever had. Bonaire is a diver's paradise. Most people that come here come for a diving holiday. Yes, you can dive at other places too, but what makes Bonaire special is that even though there are 88 named scuba diving spots, you can walk into the water almost anywhere and dive right from the shore. There's very little current on the west coast, so diving isn't very technical, and the best part of the diving is walking straight into the water from the coast and seeing coral and fishes almost straight away. There are only a handful of spots where you would need a boat, and a few spots that would be technically difficult that advanced divers would be looking for. Ex-pro diver was our choice between so many on the island, and we had the best time with them. The equipment looked brand new, the staff were knowledgeable, and many laughs were had in between some serious safety discussions. On our so-called pool sessions, we were able to see lots of marine life like huge tarpons, little sea snakes, lionfish, and even barracudas. To start the course, we did an online PADI course and had to do our pool sessions, the sessions that would normally take place in a pool, but in Bonaire it would be in the ocean, before we did 4 open water dives. The last one, we got into the pickup, or bakkie as we know it in South Africa, and drove to a dive site called Salt Pier, towards the southern part of the island. This dive site is open on most days, but no diving is allowed when a ship is in harbour to load the salt from the pans. After a day of diving, we went shopping to fill our car, well, our boat, with enough groceries for when my parents come and visit in a few weeks. And it's so full. Luckily we're in the marina, so we can unpack and carry it instead of taking it all by dinghy. So a very traditional meal in Bonaire is Sopi di Cadushy, which is cactus soup, and it actually comes in a little packet. I tried to find this in one of the restaurants, I didn't, but there is at the distillery that makes the cactus beer of the cactus drinks. They make this powder that makes cactus soup. But when we read we thought it was something we just add milk, you know, instant soup type thing. But reading the instructions, it's a 25-hour cooking procedure that requires 250 grams of salted goat meat, 250 grams of salted pork tail, 250 grams of grilled sea fish, 20 carbon seku, which translates to dried shrimp, 250 grams of iguana meat, fresh basil, and then the powder. So we're not making this recipe, but there is 2 others, but we're missing some ingredients. So Gerard, we have to go shopping before we can actually make our cactus soup.
Or just return the soup.
No, we're eating the soup. We have to know what it tastes like. So we've got all the ingredients today. We're not making the really traditional one with all the animal parts. We're making a instant or a quicker version that starts with a cream of chicken soup, just a canned cream of chicken soup. So that's going, and then we've put this inside, and this is the dried cactus. This is the part that you have to put in the bag. And what the recipe says is 2 tablespoons is enough with the amount of cream of chicken soup we have. But if you'd like a more slimy texture, you need to put in another 2 tablespoons. So we're definitely opting out of the slimy texture. We first need to taste what this one tastes like, and then we'll hope it tastes nice. I don't know.
They make the Cadushy powder by cutting off a relatively young piece of the cactus plant. Then they take the thorns off by hand, so it's quite a labor intensive process. After that they cut the outer skin off, and then they cut a piece about 1 centimeter or 10 millimeters deep underneath the outer skin, so they peel it again to get that second layer. Then they take that second layer, they basically put it in a car in the sun for, I think they said, about 2 days, and then it dries out completely. So the center part of the cactus they just throw away, or they actually feed to the donkeys, because they say the donkeys will eat basically everything, so all the thorns and everything's removed. And once it's dried, they just grind it, and then you get the Cadushy powder. So as easy as that.
Sopi di Cadushy. Let's see how it tastes. It looks like broccoli soup. The cream of chicken soup that you start with has a dominant taste, but it's earthy, if I can put it that way. And it's nice. It tastes like a a weird greeny soup. Soup. It is very hot today, but we're going for our first solo dive without the instructor. So a tiny bit nervous, but I think we'll be fine.
Dive buddy.
Yeah, almost ready.
Almost ready.
Sit down.
The mooring field is right next to a nice reef with a few dive spots. Bonaire has implemented a no dumping rule, which means yachts cannot dump their sewage while on the mooring balls. This has been implemented to try and preserve the coral. They've also recently commissioned a pump out facility where yachts can go and pump out for free. However, from 1 October they will start charging a small fee for the pumping. There's also talk of them getting a pump-out boat to come to your yacht for pumping, and mooring fees going up to cover the cost of the pump-out boat, but nothing has been confirmed yet. Some cruisers that come here annually says you can clearly see that this has resulted in less yachts visiting this year. In the past, many yachts had to sail past to Curaçao and wait for a mooring ball to open before coming to Bonaire.
Unfortunately, we only have a GoPro 3 with a diving case, so we lost almost all the color of the reefs due to the old technology. Our diving case for our new GoPro only arrived just after we finished the course, but we'll be ready for the next dive.
Today I'm drinking a Brasa beer. These are available in the Dutch Caribbean. They are not brewed here. We thought that they might be actually brewed here because they say specifically it's a Caribbean gold and it's brewed for the Caribbean Dutch islands. But it's actually brewed in the Netherlands. It's very, it reminds me of a Corona. So you can see it's in a clear or a clear glass bottle. It's 5% in alcohol, and this is a 330 ml bottle. It costs about, at the bar they have a special sometimes, so you can buy maybe $3 for $6 or so. So it's $2 at the bar and maybe $1.50 at the supermarket. Normally they serve it with a little wedge of lemon as well, like a Corona. So yeah, let's taste this one. It's very similar to a Corona, quite refreshing, especially in this hot climate. It's never less than 30 degrees here, so these ones go down quite quickly and nicely. It's just a nice drinking beer. So I would rate this one 7 out of 10.
Thank you for joining us this week. Next episode we head further west to Curaçao and finally meet some family. Please like, subscribe or comment. You can also send us any questions you might have. A special thanks to our Patreons for making these videos possible. You can join them by following the link in the description below.